What's up guys? Been a couple weeks since I did a review video, but BetaFPV recently sent me this Meteor65 Pro to test out, so that's what we're going to be doing in this video. It's kind of crappy weather out today, it's pretty cold and rainy, so I figured it's the perfect time to test this out since it's meant for indoor flying. So the Meteor65 Pro comes in a nice little case here. Zip it open, and we have a charging cable right on top. We have the drone that's kind of held down with this strap right here. Here's the drone. Underneath that, they include two 300 milliamp 1S BT 2.0 LiPos. Up top, we have some extra plastic pieces. I have a little screwdriver in case you have to work on the drone. You have a battery charger, a set of extra props, and the user manual. I love these little cases that BetaFPV has. They have quite a few of these. I feel like a lot of their drones come in these. But these cases are really nice to have, especially when you have little tiny drones like this. You just want something nice to keep it in. They include it with the drone. So the drone comes in a couple different receiver configurations. The version that I have here has a TBS receiver on it, but you can get it with an ELRS 2.4 gigahertz option or an FrSky SPI receiver option. So I have the receiver attached under here, kind of sandwiched between the battery tray and the flight controller. You guys can probably see it in a little bit, but if you have the ELRS or the FrSky version, you're not gonna have this because both of those options have the receiver built right into the flight controller. So you'll actually probably save a little bit of weight if you go with ELRS or FrSky. So the flight controller that's on this drone is BetaFPV's F4 1S 5 amp all-in-one brushless flight controller. So this is the flight controller, ESC, and receiver all in one. Even though I have the TBS receiver on this, this actually has an FrSky receiver built into it. This also has the BMI 270 gyro and is running Betaflight 4.2.11. The ELRS version should be running Betaflight 4.3. And this even has BlueJay pre-installed on the ESCs, so pretty nice. The board has 4 plugs for the motors, so this will make swapping in motors nice and easy. If you had to replace a motor, you can see that it just plugs right in there. You unplug it, take this motor off, put your new motor on, plug it in, and you're good to go. Speaking of motors, the motors on this thing, and you guys probably won't be able to read this because these motors are really small, but these motors are BetaFPV's 0802 SE brushless motors, and the props that are on here are 35mm tri-blade gem fan props. Looking at the canopy, it's pretty damn thick. I think the camera and the VTX are going to be very well protected with this, and I don't even have the additional pieces of plastic on here, but this canopy is protecting the camera and the VTX. You can see the VTX back here. It's about the size of a receiver. This is BetaFPV's MO3 VTX, and it's capable of 350 milliwatts of output power, so we're going to probably get some pretty good range out of this. This antenna right here is for the VTX. This antenna right here is for the receiver. Obviously, if you have the built-in receiver, you're not going to have this antenna back here, but this antenna you should have. This is the VTX antenna. Looking up front, we have the CO3. This is BetaFPV's 1200 TVL 160 degree 2.1 millimeter lens. BetaFPV has this advertised as sitting at 30 degrees up tilt, and it says that you can change it to 20. I can't really tell how you're going to adjust it to 20. It doesn't really move at all. Probably have to take it apart and play with it a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna put the additional pieces of plastic on here. I'm gonna charge up the 300 milliamp 1S LiPos that were included with the drone, and we'll take this thing for a test flight. So I love how this drone flies. For a 1S Whoop, it has some awesome speed. I really like the tune that BetaFPV has on it, and it's definitely a very fun little indoor ripper. The drone took quite a few crashes, and I was able to fly away from each one, and the prop guards are still completely intact. Tune-wise, I think the PIDs are pretty dialed in. I feel like this is one of the few drones that I've tested where I feel like the tune out of the box is just good to go. So props to BetaFPV for that. These batteries lasted me about 4 minutes each. The video signal was very clear, and this is on 100 milliwatts. So I'm sure if you're flying this in a bigger building, you'll still be able to get a clear image if the VTX is maxed out at 350 milliwatts. So overall, this thing is a very fun little indoor drone. I live in Massachusetts, and this time of year, it's tough to get outside to fly with the snow and the cold weather and everything. So it's nice to have a little Whoop like this to just race around the house. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave the video a like, and if you have any questions about the Meteor 65 Pro, leave a comment down below.